Welcome, everyone, to this week's new episode of Project Tech Gaming. If you're new to the show, this is the podcast where we talk about tech, games, and everything between. I'm your host, Rob Garcia, and I'm joined by co-host Kelvin Rowland. How you doing today, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm chilling, dude. We got some fun stuff to talk about today. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, interesting stuff. I'm ready.
Tell me about your week, your weekend. What'd you do? Anything crazy?
Not anything crazy. I mean, I went to actually it was a little crazy. I went to my sister's baby shower. So that was cool. And then didn't do anything exciting, if that's what you're asking. Like nothing exciting, nothing fun. But and then yesterday I got my Peloton, which was pretty dope.
Oh yeah, definitely. You might have to do a video on that. It's techie.
I don't know. I was thinking about it, but we'll see. I don't know. But it's dope.
Thing. Yeah.
It's sick. I love it.
My sister has one. I want to try it out really bad.
Yeah. What you do?
I went to see Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah, movie. You asshole. Yeah. How was it?
That was really, really, really good. I enjoyed that. It was. I'm not gonna give you any spoilers.
Don't.
I enjoyed it. It was good.
All right.
So.
All right. I want to see it. I mean, I heard good things about it, so I'm excited. But I don't know. I kind of wish, you know how you said Sony had the video on the PlayStation Store. I really wish I had it and I got it on time, because man, would I love to watch it at home and just kind of relax here, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Just like they released it on PlayStation 4 on Sony Store, and they're just like, we weren't supposed to do it, which means it's gonna come.
That's what I'm thinking. So I'm like, should I wait? Should I watch it?
No, don't wait, because I want to talk about it.
All right.
I want to talk. So, anyhow, today's topics: announcing PlayStation's new partnership with Discord. Some EV drivers switch back to gas cars after encountering the hassles of charging.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
Yeah, right. Topic 3 is Resident Evil Village reviews are pouring in, and they're mixed. Plus, Lady Dimitrescu, I just figured out how to say it.
You were just rehearsing that.
And I just forgot how to say her name. But there's a mod for her, but it's not what you think. And the last topic is Paul George plus PlayStation 5 basketball shoes.
Nani?
But before we get into topics, Kelv, we're going to talk about Game of the Week. Game of the Week is a recurring segment on the show where the co-host picks a game that they want to play / review. Kelvin, what was the game that you decided to play this week?
Plot twist, we both played this shit, and it was fire. So I played Returnal for PS5, and it's made by Housemarque, guys that made Resogun, what's it called, Dead Nation, those type of games for the PS4 and onwards. But yeah, I played this game, and you got to play this game as well. So I'm super excited to talk about it.
We kind of cheated that we both kind of played this game, but it just came out last Friday. So why not?
No, I think if anything, I think that's great. Like if we both have insight on it, we can have a better conversation about it. Instead of me kind of giving you the insight. So yeah, this game just came out, and it is fun as hell. I don't even know where to begin because there's so much to talk about with this game.
Okay, well, let's start first with the setting, the plot, like where you're at, and then what type of game it is. Let's go there first.
Sure. So this game is a roguelike game, meaning if you don't know what a roguelike game is, it's basically you're playing levels that are kind of not recycled, but they're constantly changing as you keep going, and the goal is to not die basically and progress through the game. If you die, you do return back to the very beginning of the game. So this is exactly what this game is, right? So if you think of Hades, for example, that's a perfect game that just came out not too long ago, just like that. So the whole plot, from what I understand from this game, you're I forget her name. Sam? Or no, not Sam. Something, I forget her name. But she is basically reliving her death.
Selena? Was it Selena?
Selena. That sounds right.
Someone or two. Yeah.
So she's basically reliving her death over and over, and she's in this like kind of post-apocalyptic, like eerie, kind of place. This world that she's in, but it's like alien based. So there's a bunch of like weird,
it's a different planet.
creepy looking.
It's a different planet.
It's a different planet, and she's just she crashed into this planet not knowing what's going on, and she started like in the very beginning of the game, she finds a dead body, and she goes to see it, and it's actually her. It's her own dead body. So she is constantly reliving death every single time, and she reverts back to the same crash that you start from the beginning, and that's basically the premise of the game, and you have to figure out what the hell is going on, right? And it's kind of it's so a little backstory with me, and I talked about a little about this in the Game of the Week video. You guys can check it out after this, but I wasn't very excited for this game because I knew it was kind of like that roguelike game, right? So I kind of steered away from it, not really caring for it or really watching some of the videos. And some of the videos that I did watch from this game, it didn't really do anything for me. It just seemed kind of like, all right, it's just like another like shooter, third-person shooter type of game. But I got into it. Like it just hooked me like so quick. And I think it had a lot to do with the progression in this game, right? Like there's always that thought of like, well, if I die, like let's say you died right now, like, but what if I can still reach that goal? What if I can still get past this level and beat the boss? Like it's just kind of like that itching to like keep going, you know?
Well, I'll chip in here a little bit with like what I played and stuff, and I think what a lot has to do with is the way it's seamless. The way you die and come back to life is like she dies, and then you go through that whole scene of her crashing down into the planet and stuff like that. She's like, all right, this time I'm gonna do it. Like she gets you like pumped up to like get the next run and actually get that weapon you're trying to get or something like, or beat that boss.
Yeah.
So
it's very addicting, in my opinion. I mean,
absolutely.
the first time that I played the game, I was in 2 hours in, and I did not want to like let go. Like it was 2 o'clock, I think it was, or close to 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I need to stop playing. I have work tomorrow, and I just couldn't let it go. And even last night, I was playing, and I'm just like, this is like, I want to beat that second biome. I want to beat that second boss, and I couldn't. I got to the second boss, by the way, and I fucked up. But
it could have something to do too with like the controls, right? Tell me about the controls.
Well, that's the thing. So the controls are very like smooth. Like everything in that game is just snappy, quick, fast paced, and it's so easy to kind of click. If that makes sense. So the minute I started playing the game, I kind of understood everything because it's very simplistic in that sense. So you have your map, and the map is very easy to navigate and to look at. I think one issue that I never brought up with Control, for example, is that the map layout is terrible and it's hard to find out where you're at and how to look for things. This game just makes it so simple, and you know your destination, you know what's a side mission, you know what's your main path. Like it's very simple. And not only that, but like the game is that it has that fast pace where it's similar to like the Resogun and all those other games, Dead Nation. You're doing a lot of bobbing and weaving and trying to figure out like how to get past that first level, right? So they throw at you a bunch of enemies, and they're not hard enemies per se, right? They're not like terribly like difficult, but there's something that's in the way, and once you get past that enemy, you'll move on to more enemies, and it just keeps escalating from there. But it's just that itching to keep going that makes it like really, like, I don't know, exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think this game does a really good job with utilizing a DualSense controller.
Oh, that too. See, there's so much to talk about. It's like I don't even know where to go.
It's the triggers, right? Like if you feel it, and then the sound too from the controller. Like when you like hold it down all the way, you're like you activated something else. You're in a different firing form. Yeah. Or mode.
It's definitely taking advantage of the haptic feedback. It's definitely taking advantage of the 3D audio from the PlayStation 5, and
it's a solid state. You know, because when you die, everything's so quick, everything's so fast.
And it's just the guns. The guns are great, right? Like you were mentioning a little bit about that. As you keep shooting people and as you keep killing enemies, your guns improve, and not only your guns, but your suit improves. And there's a bunch of like add-ons that you can attach to your suit, to your weapon. There's like these parasites that can they're kind of cost effective, but they're also like beneficial in a way. Like you can use them to your advantage, but at the same time they can hinder you. They can hinder your playthrough. So for example, I don't know, I'm just throwing something out there, like it can increase your health bar by 25%, but it can also damage you when or it could reduce your weapon damage. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of like pros and cons to whatever parasite you pick up. So it's just very technical in that sense.
Yeah, I mean the game play is addicting. Everything about the game is like super addicting. Which I was like, I was dying a lot. You're gonna die a lot in that game. Even tells you
that's the
beginning.
point. That's the point.
Yeah, since you're gonna die. It reminds me a lot of like Binding of Isaac. I don't know if you've ever played Binding of Isaac.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
I never got to try. I've seen people play Hades. Like my friend Ryan, he plays Hades and it run me a lot of that. So.
And I think for what really grabs my attention in this game, because again, Hades never did it for me, right? And it probably had to do because of that top-down view. It just wasn't for me because I love the art style for Hades, right? And I love the characters; they look great. But when it comes down to this game, like it maybe because it has that high budget to it, and not only that, but it has that gritty, almost like Dead Space look to it, where I you know me, I love that like dark kind of like atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then you throw in like weird, demonic, creepy looking like animals, like Bloodborne type of enemies. I'm all in. Like this is great. So it kind of has like both of those, like best of both worlds type of thing. So I'm super into this game. I can't get enough of it right now. Like I was playing Control for the longest, and I kind of stopped playing now because I really am hooked to this game, and it's great, man. I recommend this game 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you would agree with this, but if I had to describe the game based off of other games, it's like if you took, it's its own game. If you, it doesn't play like another game that I've played before.
Right.
But if I had to take other games and combine them, it feels like a mix of Dark Souls / Bloodborne, Hades, and Destiny. Destiny in the sense of like the third person shooter aspect, and the way the enemies pop up on screen, and the way you shoot your guns, stuff like that. That's how I would describe this game. Yeah,
I agree with that. I just think that this game is much like you said, it's its own game, right? Because this game doesn't waste your time either. Like you're dying a lot.
You jump in. It's just like just get to the objective. That's your plan.
Exactly. You just have to do one thing is get to the goal, and that's it, right? But,
don't die trying to get to the goal. And if you do die, that's okay. But then you have to start over again.
Right.
But you'll still
Yeah. And we didn't even get to the story. Like to me, I think it's not like a big part of the game in my opinion, but it's interesting enough that I kind of want to figure out what's going on.
I want to know what's going on. Yeah, me too. I think they did a good job of like keeping you in the dark. Also, is the game really dark for you? And it could be just my TV, but is the game like very dark? No,
not at all.
I might have to adjust the settings. Okay.
Yeah, I recommend this game 100%, guys. Like you have no idea. Excuse me. I think this is probably one of the first games right now for Sony to like kind of showcase PS5 for sure.
Oh yeah.
And it's great. Like, if you want to know more about it, definitely look at our Game of the Week video that I posted Wednesday. So check that out. There's a bunch of gameplay there as well. And again, it's a fun time. It's hard. So that's the one thing I didn't even touch on at the Game of the Week video. I didn't really kind of explain the difficulty that much. It's hard for sure. It's
impossible.
But that's the thing, and that's what I meant about not wasting your time. The game is very smart with how it manages your time and how it deals enemies at you. So you're not bombarded with enemies 100% of the time. Like there's a couple enemies here and there, and it's up to you to figure out how to finish off the level in that sense. But it just does such a great job of like making you progress and making you want to keep going, right? Mm-hmm. So it is hard in that sense because you have to, again, if you die, you're starting from the beginning, and you're in the beginning right now, right, Rob? Like you haven't beat the first boss
I think
yet.
I think I played like an hour and a half of it or so
So it's not that bad when you die, right? Now from where I'm at, I just got to the second boss, right? I died, so I go all the way back. So I'm in a different world than you are right now. So that means I have to get past this world and then get into my next world to then finally get to the second boss. So it's definitely challenging in that sense, but it's not impossible, and it's rewarding. It's rewarding when you get to that point and you finish off a boss. It just feels so good.
I will note too here that we didn't touch on the fact that like this game is not meant for short sessions.
No.
I think there's no save feature. So like once you're in, you got to keep playing or put your PS5 into rest mode. Like you're committed to playing this game if you're gonna play it.
And I think that's one of my biggest gripes about the game. If I had to like nitpick it, there's no save points. There's no save anything in this game.
I wish there was a
right?
checkpoint at least. At least there was like
Something.
a middle checkpoint.
Yeah.
Actually, this game also reminded me a little bit of Metroid Prime.
Yes, very heavily. Yes,
Yep,
you're right. That
yep,
I agree with
a little
100%.
bit.
Yeah,
So again,
yeah.
lastly, thumbs up.
Yeah, I mean, this is just I'm itching to play right now. Like we're talking about it, and I'm like, let's just fucking play. Like this is great.
All right. Here's the
yeah.
thing: if you have a PS5 at home right now, go get this game. You will not. be
And some
disappointed.
people are like, all right, is it worth the $70? Like, do I want to spend the $70 on? I think so. I think it's. I mean, I 100% think it's worth the $70.
This is the first game for me that I've tried on PS5 that I felt like, oh, this is a PS5 game for me personally. So,
yeah.
I think it's worth it.
I would beg to differ, Miles Morales, but that's a different topic.
That's a conversation. All right. Well, enough about Game of the Week. Again, you guys can check out the video of Kelvin playing that game. I definitely recommend trying it out. If you don't have PS5, that's fine. This might get you to get one because it's a cool game.
Yeah,
so
it's cool.
check that out. But let's move on to topic number 1, Kelvin. PlayStation has announced a new partnership with Discord. Wow. Let's get
The
some
tides have
tidbits here.
turned, huh? Like it's crazy.
Sony Interactive Entertainment has invested a stake in popular communication app Discord. Sony's president Jim Ryan announced today in a blog post. Discord will integrate with PlayStation in the beginning of next year. There's not too many details about how it's going to integrate yet. While PlayStation has its own dedicated voice chat, there's no official method for chatting with others in cross-platform play. As we know, as if we would ever play Discord, we have to like get our phone and like, it's just annoying. Some kind of integration, whether that's a fully fledged Discord on PlayStation or simply the ability to use the app's voice chat across different platforms, could help toward bridging the cross-play gap. They didn't say how much they invested. No. So this is different from the approach that Microsoft was doing. So if you guys don't know, we talked about this in our other past episode, was Microsoft was trying to buy Discord. Mm-hmm. PlayStation is like, we're not trying to buy you. We'll invest in you instead, which I feel like that's a win. In
my opinion, that's so much smarter in that sense, because you're not probably spending the same amount of money that you would be spending if you were purchasing this company, right?
Exactly. So before we get into your thoughts, Kelv, I think you could join me in this. Give a round of applause to Sony. Like, bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah, for sure.
Good job.
That was like a sneak attack from them, man. They kept quiet. They were like, oh, all these headlines, Microsoft purchasing Discord and shit. All right, cool. We'll just stay in the back and just, we'll wait till we announce our actual, announcement there. And look at that. Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And for me, it's such a great decision. I've been saying this for a while, have I not? I'm like, I wish Sony just had some type of Discord integration into their OS, because it's a pain in the ass if I want to play Call of Duty for me and my setup, the way I have things set up. And I want to play Call of Duty, but what if I just want to like play another game and you guys are playing Call of Duty and I still want to talk to you guys, right? But I have this weird situation where I have Discord on my phone, but I have the headset on, so I can't really listen to the game because I have to listen to you guys.
Exactly.
That's done. I don't have to worry about that anymore, because now Sony's gonna help this situation out for me. It's great. It's fucking dope. It's dope.
I'm interested to see how they're gonna do integration, because it would be really cool if you could stream from Discord to just, you know what I mean? Like the exact.
I didn't even think about the streaming part of it. Yeah.
Because that would be like, hey guys, like I'm gonna go play a PlayStation 5 game that this might entice other people like to jump on console if they're from PC, vice versa. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's an overall just a good thing. Like I'm really excited for this.
The key word here obviously is partnership, right? So they didn't purchase Discord; they're partnering with them. So I think this could be this could be bridging the gap for Xbox and PlayStation to have like cross play or cross chat integration. Like, how cool would it be if I can talk to somebody who has an Xbox, just on my PlayStation? You know what I mean? Because what if Microsoft decides to partner with Discord as well at one point? Like then, I mean, would that happen? Who knows, right? Would they have that integration where Sony can talk to Microsoft? Probably not, but it's it can happen, like at this point anything can happen. And this is dope. I am all for this. I'm super happy that Sony decided to do this, and I can't wait for it to happen next year, right? Early next year.
They didn't announce, again, details are very scarce, but it's happening.
Yeah.
I'm glad they went this route versus purchasing outright, because Discord has an app right now. I like it, and then anytime like a big corporation purchases something, it changes that.
For sure. Said company. Yeah.
Yeah. So
what does this mean though? Like, what does this mean? Like, so I honestly haven't really tried Sony's like their own ecosystem when it comes to like chatting as much like this generation. I used it a lot last generation, but so I don't know how well it works or how well it doesn't. But
it just it can't beat Discord.
It can't beat Discord, right?
The way it's just like seamless, where you could create your servers and have your friends in each server, and
yeah,
you guys.
Yeah.
It honestly feels like what would be the modern day like LAN party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's all your friends are all playing the same or different games. Like it just that Sony did not, like the other platforms, they can't offer that.
Right. And I think Sony was kind of trying to do that. Like if you notice right now on the PS5, they do have parties that you can create, right? But probably they were like, you know what? This like Discord does it better.
Exactly. The problem with that was that it's very clunky.
Yeah. And like Discord does it better. Why don't we just try to partner with them and, win-win situation for everybody?
Yeah, we'll give you money. Just let us use your app, and everyone's happy.
This is so great. Like I literally I was like, this needs to happen, and it's actually happening. It's great. I can't wait. What does this mean for the future though? Like, it's just I don't know. I don't know, man. Like you were saying, like everything, like you trying to live stream things, right? Like would I not have to have a hassle of like trying to live stream to YouTube and just live stream on Discord instead, and it'll be so much easier? Or like how does that work? I don't know. There's so many questions still.
Exactly. Like for example, if like I wanted to play Returnal, I wanted to show my friends who don't have PlayStation 5,
right?
I could show them like what Returnal looks like. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm excited for it. But
this is great.
Any last thoughts about that?
No, I mean, again, this is just another bridge that is being kind of closer. It's closer and closer for everyone to just kind of play as one ecosystem.
Exactly.
I feel like in some way.
Yeah, obviously everyone has their preference, but
yeah.
We all want everyone enjoying each other's company, right? Like if I want to, so all good things. So let's move on, Kelv. Topic number 2. Some EV drivers switch back to gas-powered cars after encountering the hassles of charging. This is from Joplinix. A study focused on California EV owners who purchased vehicles from 2012 to 2018. Researchers found that charging was the main factor in owners giving up on EVs. Owners either lacked access to level 2 fast charging, or they just disliked having to bother charging at all.
Jesus.
Okay. So,
I mean, go ahead. Start off first, because
I'll start it off. Okay. I was gonna say, you know what you signed up for.
But okay, so let me stop you there, because I agree 100%. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what you signed up for. You knew you had to charge these. Like you knew you had to charge these cars, right? You had to plug them in at some point. My thing is, do you really know that? Like, do you really think of that in the grand scheme of things? Like, yeah, you know that in the back of your head, but do you realize how annoying that is until you actually do it? It's happened to me several times where I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be easy, or oh yeah, this is gonna be no big deal, and then when I actually do it, I'm like, fuck, like this is not what I expected.
When you're spending that much money on something like a car, you want to know like how it's gonna affect your everyday life. That's, for me, I'd be like, all right, I know I'm going to have to charge this thing every night. I know road trips are going to be limited. I know I'm not going to be, at a drop of the hat, I can't like go somewhere. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think people just, again, they didn't really take it into consideration that they're going to have to charge their car like a lot of times, or like maybe they thought like, oh, I won't drive that much. And they're like, no, I drive a lot.
Right. They don't realize those things. And again, that's one of those things where you should know. Like if you're making a big boy purchase like that, you need to understand what your lifestyle is.
Now, would you be one of those people where you would buy, like, say, a Tesla, and you're just like a couple of years down the line, like, no, this is not for me? I don't know. I feel like the people that are purchasing these EVs, they're doing their research because it's a completely different platform. It's
Yeah.
you have to know what you're getting yourself into. It's again, a car is such part of our lives. You know, a big part of our lives. It
Yeah.
helps us get to work. It helps us go to the grocery store and stuff like that. That you should have took that into consideration before you bought the car.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I mean, I agree, but there's some people that just really don't take that into consideration for some reason, right? And here they are, pissed off because they have to charge their car. Like, I don't know.
cars suck.
Yeah,
like,
it's
no,
like,
they
I
don't.
mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, it's like you buy a car not knowing that you had to put gas in it. Like, it's the same.
Can you imagine
concept.
you go to a dealership, right? You buy the car, and then you go back and you go to the dealer and you're like, I don't like this car. This car sucks. And you're like, why don't you like this car? You're like, because I have to charge every night.
Now, again, so this goes back to one of our episodes where we talked about how frequently you have to charge these cars, right?
Depends
And
on what you drive
It depends on what you drive and how
and
much
the
you drive.
manufacturer. Yeah.
So that can also be a factor, you know. I mean, there's people that, again, you need to do research for sure, but there's people that would never think, oh, I need to charge this every night. I thought it would take, a month or something. Like, I'm playing devil's advocate right now, but I'm just saying, like, it's stupid regardless. Like, it's like you should know this, you should know better, especially if you're doing a big purchase like this.
So another point here about this is, do you think because that the technology's not there yet, like once it becomes super convenient for this charging, like there's gonna be chargers everywhere you go, and it's gonna be quick. It's gonna be a quick, like 15-minute, 20-minute charge at the max for a full charge. Do you think you're gonna see more people adopting? Do you think that the charging is the big deterrent right now, and the range for people buying these things?
Yeah, I think, again, like you
do
said,
you think it's a compromise, like for?
Yeah, I think so. I think with any new piece of hardware, people are hesitant to kind of jump in, like as soon as they're on the market. So I think the price and the frequency of charging these cars might have a factor in that for sure. How far do you think that's going to be though? Like, how long do you think that's going to take for them to actually like improve batteries?
It's not even like batteries too. It's more of like the charging, like making the chargers accessible everywhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's one of those things where it's just gonna have to take time for it to kind of build and have people's trust and understand like where the market is going. You know what I mean?
As of right now, would you buy an EV?
No.
Right now.
I'm cool right now with my gas car. Like right now.
You're okay with your gas car. You're
Yeah.
You have no like. Okay, after your next car purchase, will you consider an EV?
If there's more pros and cons about it, yeah, sure.
Do you think there's more cons than pros right now in the state that we're in right now?
As far as lifestyle goes, probably. Like, again, the charging, would I want to charge my car all the time? No, but I know that ahead of time, right? So it's just like like I don't know much about purchasing one to really answer that question, because I'm sure there's more behind the scenes that I don't know about, right? That can probably change that factor for me, whether I want to purchase it or not.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think? Like, do you think that's something that you would buy right now, like if you had the chance?
Well, right now I would not be able to have an EV because
Right.
I don't have a garage.
Well,
so like
it's true, yeah. I was thinking more because you don't really use your car that much right now, right?
I also don't use my car. Exactly. So, I mean, that would almost like entice me to get an EV because it's like, okay, like I virtually never, ever, ever, ever have to like pay for like anything as far as like gas or electricity because I don't really use. Obviously, the car will lose charge by sitting idle for a while, but compared to how much you pay for gas, it's a little different, right? Mm-hmm. Would I make the change to EV right now? If they were like, okay, you can trade in your car right now and get an EV, I'd probably be like, nah, I can't do it right now. Like, it's just not. I can't do it right now.
Yeah, nothing right now is making me decide that factor. Like I wouldn't want to do it right now.
I think the biggest hurdle right now for EVs is once there's no compromise. Once it's like comparable to a gas-powered car where it's like I'm not sacrificing anything, then I think that's when a lot of people are going to be like jumping on that bandwagon for like, okay, yeah, I like the electric car. But maybe next car.
I think you're always going to sacrifice something with EV cars though, for sure. Like even you just said it right now, like when your car is idle, it's still losing charge. That doesn't happen with a gas car.
No, the gas strips out of the exhaust. I'm just kidding.
Well,
your car doesn't do that. I'm just kidding.
Like you need to go fix that car. Right?
Your car's about to explode, homie. Like stop driving your car. All right,
there's pros and cons to it. So I don't know. We'll see. As of right now, I'm cool with what I have, and it doesn't really faze me right now.
Bottom line is, I think we're unified on this. Is if you buy an EV car, you know what you signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now. Well, Kel, we're going to move on to not EV cars. We're going to talk about Resident Evil Village.
Oh, boy.
Resident Evil Village
here.
reviews. Tomorrow comes out, or tonight if you're going to stay up late. The reviews are pouring in, and they're mixed. So, reviews have mostly been positive, but only downside being is it's not as scary as we initially thought. It seems like it's a fusion of Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 7, but more emphasis on Resident Evil 4. Mm-hmm. Now, Kelf, does this change things for you as far as like you getting excited for the game?
A little bit. I think
okay.
I was looking forward to this game because I think mostly because of the hype. I was like on this hype train from like RE2. And
speaking of hype train, we're going to jump back to that in a little bit here. So
Yeah. And so I'm like, all right, so RE2 was great. Like, I love that game. So I can't wait for this one because this is just, I like the setting that this has, right? You're kind of like in this village and you have like these weird, like, I don't know, Wolverine, like wolf and kind of
Lycans.
Like Lycans, right? Thank you. So I like that style. I like that kind of like atmosphere.
And the castle is really cool. It's like very like.
Yeah. But, So when I read some of these reviews saying that the game isn't as scary as it really was thought out to be, it kind of disappointed me a little bit. I was like, all right, well, I prefer Resident Evil more in the scary factor.
100%.
But Resident Evil has this wide range of like games that depending on where you picked up Resident Evil, you can be a huge Resident Evil fan from the beginning, like when it had like that super scary like, horror portion to it, or you can be, as crazy as it sounds, you can be a fan of Resident Evil 6 or like Resident Evil 5, like the ones that were kind of like more of the action side towards
what's
things,
crazy is I didn't hate Resident Evil 6. A lot of people did not like it. I didn't hate it, but
I didn't play much, but when I played I was like, no, it's not Resident Evil. Yeah. So I'm still gonna try it, right? I think we're gonna still play it and see for ourselves because I'm definitely intrigued by the atmosphere and just the characters in the game seem pretty cool. But what I've heard too, is it Ethan that is the main character, right?
Yeah, Ethan. Yep.
He's very dull. Like he doesn't really give off like Chris vibes or anything like that.
Or Leon, yeah.
Or Leon. So he's not a very strong character in this game. But everybody else in this game is very strong. The cast is strong. But Ethan himself, the protagonist, is not very good. And by what I mean by that is this is based off of what I've read. The way he just the voice acting is terrible from what I've heard. He the way he like emphasizes his care or emphasizes what he's feeling is just not good. So I don't know.
From what I played from the demo, he doesn't seem like that scared being in this like castle strap.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, if I'm in a castle and I don't know where I'm at, I'm hearing all these scary noises. Like I'm gonna be like, oh god, you know what I mean?
There's no emotion, and it kind of since you're this character, obviously, it kind of detaches you from the game a little bit.
Yeah. I'm excited for it because I was a big fan of Resident Evil 4. Because again, I'm not a big scary game kind of guy.
Right.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm going to be playing this game with more confidence because I'm like, oh, it's not trying to fucking scare the shit out of me every 5 seconds.
You're like, action, yes. More action, yes.
But I am a disappointed in the sense of like, oh, like, I wanted this to be a scary game too.
Now, so
You
don't get it
kinda want
twisted though.
both.
There is scary moments in this game, from what I've heard. There are some scary parts that legit get you scared. But there's portions of it that feels more actiony than But so now, from what I've read too, it's not as hardcore as Resident Evil 6, but it's not as scary as Resident
7?
Evil 2. So
What do you mean, 6 or 7?
or
It's not-
7, yeah, sure, yeah, because it's a continuation from 7. But so it's kind of like in the middle, basically. So
Yeah, I'm excited for it. What I've been reading though is the reason why it doesn't feel as scary is because you get access to a ton of different weapons, and
yeah,
when you have a powerhouse, when you have rocket launchers at your disposal, a werewolf doesn't seem as scary anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas it's like where you don't have like a knife, then it's like, okay, I'm scared because I can't defend myself. So
now I'm not sure if RE7 had any of the RPG elements, but I know this one does, and that's what kind of made me a little excited. There's some like RPG elements where you can customize like different stats in your character or your gun, I think. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna try it out and see for ourselves, and I'm still excited. Like I still want to play it, but it just kind of brought it down just a little bit.
just a little notch for you because you wanted that scariness of it.
Yeah, I wanted it to be like a full-fledged Resident Evil game, and I'm not saying it's not, but it's just not what everyone thought it would be, But this leads to my question. So it's still getting positive reviews, right? I think it's like
It's getting
85
it's getting
on Metacritic.
really good reviews. Yeah,
So it's not
good
bad.
reviews.
I feel like we're shitting on it, but it's really not that bad. So the turn that this game took, right, from it being in this like werewolf kind of esque like vampire kind of theme, right? Where do you think they're gonna take the next one? Like, I know this one didn't even come out yet, but it's just crazy how Resident Evil manages to stay fresh, right? Because it's been a long journey for this game. It's been since the 90s. So what do you think Resident Evil 9 is gonna be like? Like, where would it take it? Right? There's so many possibilities, but like, I just hope that they don't continue Ethan's story, because I feel like he's not a strong character.
He's just Costello's character. Do you think they're gonna stick with the first person, or are they gonna go back to third person?
I don't know. That's a good question. I kind of like the first person, but I wouldn't be mad if they did third person either.
I mean, third person is still like, I will say, like Resident Evil 2 was like the remake. I was scared during that game, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, because everything was so dark and skinny, and the corridors, and
Yeah.
Mr. X chasing you.
Yeah.
As far as like what I think the next Resident Evil is gonna like be, do you think it's gonna be like aliens?
I'll be down. Like, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like they've moved away from
aliens in the sense
zombies.
of like, yeah.
That now they can do anything they want. Like, now it's fair game. You can do literally anything as long as it has that scare factor to it, and people will be down. People will still consider this a Resident Evil game just because you did this.
I mean, yeah.
Shift.
Look at Dead Space. Like Dead Space, that game is scary as fuck. The first, like, Resident Evil. If we know anyone that can do scary, it's Resident Evil. It's proved itself. It can do scary. It's hard to keep you scared.
It's hard to keep that momentum going throughout the whole entire game, right?
Only
especially
few
being
games
like a
can do
15,
that.
16-hour game. Yeah.
Like right off the jump, I could think of like Silent Hill, or as like one of the ones that like, or PT. Remember that? I couldn't even beat the demo. I hated it.
You're ridiculous. You need to relax.
I need
PT
to
was scary for sure, but like, come on, it was like 15 minutes.
It's just scary games, man. Scary movies, I could do all day. I'll fucking watch them and I'll laugh at them. But when you put me in there, especially when VR comes out, like I'm playing a scary game VR.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I heard Resident Evil VR was pretty scary. So. Yeah,
no, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know.
But let's go on to the bonus part about this story. Is the lady Jermiscu, I just said her name wrong again, I'm sure. Mod
Dimitrescu.
Dimitrescu? Yeah. So when you think Mod, you think her. There's a lot of things going around the internet with her because she's this big giant lady and she's very, whatever. And the mod is that people have transformed her into Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh my god, let's see.
There's
Oh
an image
my
for it.
god.
Which
That's actually
it makes her scarier.
It makes it scarier, yeah.
It's just a head. They just took his head and put her head, like they changed her head into Thomas the Tank Engine.
Because she's a hit on social media, right? Like everywhere
There's gonna be
goes,
people
like,
cosplaying her for years.
yeah.
And like,
Oh yeah, 100%. So, but this makes it like actually scary. Like she looks scary. I wasn't afraid of her before. She just kind of had this like attractive, like tall.
Exactly. There's memes of like, yeah, like I'm running away. Haha, just kidding.
Yeah,
You can catch me.
Yeah. Yeah, this legitimately looks scary for sure.
So I'm curious though to see what other mods they might do for this game.
There was one.
Oh no.
There was one. No, this is great. I'm gonna try to find it. There was one that they did with the demo that we played, right?
Okay.
And you're in the underneath the castle.
Okay.
And they had Barney as mods.
Oh, I heard about that. Yep.
That was great because it legit looked like creepy as fuck, especially with Barney coming at you and shit. Like that was great.
Did they have his voice or no?
No, it was just the same.
Oh my god! If they had his voice, like try like, oh, I'm gonna get you, like just like that, just like no, dude, I'm out.
Oh man. No. That's cool. I love mods and all the crazy stuff they could do. Like kind of side story here, but like Kingdom Hearts has mods now because it's on PC now, and the stuff that they're doing with Kingdom Hearts is great. It's just fantastic. So props to all those guys that do all these things.
Yeah. So we'll end Resident Evil there. I'm gonna probably do Resident Evil Village as my game of the week. Honestly.
Yeah.
I think so. I think I have to do it at this point, right?
You have to do it in the dark, all right? Let's be honest. You can't have all these lights on that you have in the background.
No, I'm going hard. I got the headset on. I'm going to play, and I'm going to face it like a man, and then we'll see. And I heard the beginning of the game's obviously like the scariest before you have access to
it. That's another thing I did here, too. Like, it kind of falls off in the second half of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
we'll see.
Last topic, Kelv. Topic 4. Paul George plus PlayStation equals a PS5 basketball shoe. NBA player Paul George, who plays for the Clippers, collabed with PlayStation to create these shoes. The PlayStation 5 sneakers will release May 27th and will cost $120. What's also cool about these is you can unlock them in the Nike store on 2K21 to use in the game.
That's kind of
so these made these sneakers available in real life and in the game that you could like outfit. So,
bravo.
Kelvin, PlayStation fanboy. You get any sneakers? You copping these?
You know,
I see what they look like.
It doesn't really do anything for me. Like, I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. It doesn't. How much are they? They're like 120. 120. I don't know, man. It doesn't do. I love the color scheme, obviously, because it has like the PlayStation 5, like the white and
they have like the PlayStation symbols like on the sides and stuff
just
like
that.
The
controller, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if it's just the style. I don't know what it is. It doesn't do anything for me. And honestly, maybe when I was high school, I would probably rock them. But right now, my style has changed so much that I can't rock those anymore. I don't know how to rock them.
Okay, Mr. Yeezys. Okay, whatever you say. Whatever you say. It's not my style, but I rock Yeezys. It's fine.
All right, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know. I wouldn't wear them. I don't think. I think I would have them more on display, if anything, to be honest.
First off, you probably are not even going to be able to get them because they're going to sell out in a second. And
that's another thing. I'm not going to try. I'm not even going to try because people are going to scalp them and then they're going to charge like a fucking fist for it. So no, I'm all set.
I want to do like honestly a whole topic on like the scalping situation of just everything. Like I know it's not like super tech related, but just like come on, like this is getting old. It's
crazy. I mean, literally now everything is just being scalped. For sure.
I mean, sneakers have always been scalped since forever, but still, that's just like, what are the people that actually enjoy this stuff? But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. Do you like the style? Do you like how it looks or no?
I'm not a big fan of it, honestly. Like I would wear them, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to get them.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not gonna go out of my way to try to buy them because it just doesn't. Like if someone gave them to me, or if I see them in the store and I'm like I have this money to cause I think it's more so because it's like it's in my face. Like it's PlayStation, it's shoes, like sneakers, like why not? And if I could buy it, I'll buy it. But I'm not trying to buy them to like wear them because I like the way they look. If that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I
feel
wish
like
there
I'm
was
rambling
more
about it, but-
gaming collabs on clothing
Sneakers?
and
Oh,
footwear.
clothing.
Just in general, you know what I mean? Like, just have. I wish that was just it was more of a thing, like Metal Gear Solid style sneakers, or like.
Oh my god.
Or like
Well, they did Dragon Ball Z style Adidas for
They
for
did,
the longest,
and
remember?
it was successful. I feel like people.
They were
bought them,
cool
people
too.
liked them. Yeah,
those
they did a
I
good
would
job.
rock. Those I would like. I like those a lot.
If you could get them, but you
If
couldn't
I
get
could.
them.
Yeah, and I don't even think you can get them anymore. Right, they're done. I think at this point.
You have to get them on eBay or something now. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I definitely wish there was more collabs with that stuff. If there was one collab you wanted to see, clothing or sneaker wise, what would you want to see?
Clothing or sneaker wise, collab.
I know it's kind of like a loaded question.
That is a loaded question.
I
Can't
feel
think
like
of anything at the top of my head.
I feel like Xbox would come out with a pretty cool sneaker, like the black and the green. I feel like that would look really cool.
Yeah. Nintendo, come on.
So Nintendo did come out with a
They-
Puma sneaker, which looked
Okay.
like the original Nintendo. And it
Oh,
had, like,
yeah.
Yeah, I tried to get them, but guess what? Couldn't get them
Yeah.
because they were sold out.
Foolish for trying.
Yeah, exactly. But
Speaking of Nintendo, I don't know if this is gonna be. It's probably not like a topic 5 or anything like that. But Nintendo Switch has reached another mountain stone here. So today, as details from Nintendo's latest financial results come in, the console has not sold a total of 84.59 million units worldwide. So it sold 84.59 million worldwide as of today.
it's nuts.
That's dope. I mean, I know it's a little off topic, but like I just saw that, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool to kind of bring up. So that's cool.
Nintendo
Killing
always
it.
killing the game. Always. I mean, the only time they didn't really kill the game was Nintendo Wii U. That was the literally only time they didn't kill the game.
Yeah.
Every other time they've people say like GameCube too, but the GameCube was still great.
No, GameCube was fine. The GameCube was more memorable than most consoles. I feel like people had a GameCube and they remember it for the quality games that it had. And
I'm thinking
for it being so
like sales.
different
I think they
design.
compare
Yeah,
GameCube
well,
sales
sales,
to Wii
sure.
sales, and they're like, oh, the Wii's the best, and I'm like, no, GameCube was just so much more nostalgic, and
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
For sure.
so with that, Kelv, that ends our episode for Project Tech Gaming. Guys, we are available on all major streaming services. We release the YouTube video on YouTube at 12 p.m. every Fridays. Give us a like, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you want us to talk about or make a video about. We actually released we have 2 new videos. It's the Mother's Top 5 Tech Gifts to get your mom. And
Check that out. Highly recommend it, especially if you're like a procrastinator like everyone else is, and they're purchasing stuff for Mother's Day like late as hell. So yeah, definitely
Plus,
check that out.
Amazon's doing a lot of like 1-day shipping for
Yeah.
that stuff. So definitely check it out. Well, we'll link it. And then if you're interested in a GoPro, Kelvin has a fantastic video on figuring out what GoPro is best for you. So definitely check that out. Kelv, any final thoughts for today?
Real quick, just want to say how super proud I am with our videos right now. Like I feel like we've been killing it, and it's just us. Like, you know what I mean, with full-time jobs. Like, and we like this week we pumped out 5 videos. Like that's insane to me, you know.
Hey,
So we're doing great. So
I
I'm
mean,
proud of us.
honestly, even if we don't have the views and stuff like that, I don't mind because I'm having fun doing it. That's all.
Yeah, and it's our work. You know what I mean. So it's like I'm just super proud of it. That's all. So it's cool.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Kelv. Well, I will talk to you next week on the podcast. And
For sure.
see ya.
See you, man.